Now imagine it's the year of 2004. You have finished all the GTAs to date and you are looking for something similar, but also a little bit different. That is where Scrapland comes in. Made by Spanish studio Mercurysteam, presented by the most American guy ever, and marketed as GTA 3, but with robots. Throughout the game, you play as D-Tritus Debris, a robot made from trash currently arriving at planet Scrapland. A questionable ending later, you have to go through the arrival protocol. First, you get checked for humans, since for whatever reason there is extreme prejudice against them. Next, you get fondled by the bishops. You are now immortal. It's that easy. Or is it? Oh no. The bishops run something called the Grey Database, or GDB for short. They take a snapshot of you, which is called a matrix, and then they charge you a leg whenever you inevitably kick the bucket. The last thing before you become a citizen is getting a job. Since you are new to the planet, you don't really get to choose and you get assigned to the local newspaper. Effective immediately. Oh god. And your new colleague is already waiting for you.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, I'm Berto, your fellow colleague. I was waiting for you. How's it going?
Together, you go buy yourself a new ship with a grand budget of about 1,000 scrap. Just enough to get around and not much else. With your dinghy all rusty and splendid, you are expected at the office to meet your other coworkers. Only right before that, some guy called the Crazy Gambler calls you over.
Hi, dude. I'm the Crazy Gambler. You don't know me, but I do know who you are. Drop by my place and we'll talk about business.
To be or not to be? Shall rust and oblivion be our inexorable fate at the end of time? Why does my mind shiver as I face this undeniable evidence? If I could only touch eternity for an instant and thus understand. Hi, D-Tritus. I was waiting for you. I've heard a lot about you since you arrived in Chimera.
I mean, I remember this game being very goofy, but sudden cyber Shakespeare completely slipped my mind. Since anyone can pay to be brought back to life, the Crazy Gambler stages various extreme events called Crazy Bets, and he wants to test you. You are to destroy some police ships and then escape the chase. As a guy with a total of about 1 hour on the planet and no criminal record to date, of course you happily shake on that and go do the deed. This is only one of the too many occasions where D-Tritus shows a personality depth of a puddle, always saying yes to anyone and anything, no matter how much against the law or stupid it is. Anyway, these bets later become side missions that you complete to unlock weapons and upgrades. Now back to your colleagues. You meet Humphrey, a grumpy newspaper guy and the right-hand man of your boss, and then Betty. She's a popular newscaster and for some reason the only female robot you will ever meet on Scrapland.
It's good to see you, Berto. Follow me, please.
Then finally, you meet your boss, who is just called the boss, no other name given.
Oh, excellent. How are you doing, boy? Where do you come from?
Hello, sir. I come from outer space. To be more specific,
From outer space? You're so funny. I like that. I guess you're eager to get your first mission.
Upon introduction, he tasks you with interviewing the Archbishop, since he is giving his weekly spiel on how you should buy extra lives and all that jazz.
Of time, we are, in short, commanders of everybody's destiny. You, brothers, must be proud, for you've made everlasting life available to everybody. For a small fee.
The Archbishop, being very honest, tells you he can be arsed and continues relaxing in a hot oil jacuzzi, thus leaving you empty-handed.
Don't insist or I'll call the police, foul-mouthed youngster.
Okay, I'm going. But you're not doing anything important, are you?
My patience is running out. Clear up now! What the hell? What's that? Oh no! 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 Stop! What are you going to do? No, no, not that. Don't touch that. Don't touch it. No, please. No, stop it. Oh, stop it. No. Don't touch that, please. Don't, no. Oh, it's getting hot and boiling. Oh, I'm not. Help!
Now death and murder are the norm here, but what if someone also deleted you from the Grey database? What would happen if robots became mortal again? After this event, you, D-Tritus Debris, are thrown into a murder investigation on your second day at the job. Now before we go into spoilers, let us talk a bit more about other aspects of the game. What first captivated my attention as a wee little kid who found this game on a gaming magazine DVD was the graphics. You have probably noticed the game looks very colorful. What it does well is that it's not overdone and it fits together nicely to create a banger of a futuristic setting. You have the outside areas, with the city center being very bright and clean, and then the more industrial areas that have the dirty and polluted vibe. The inside areas also have their themes well done. When you enter the temple district where bishops reside, you can feel the opulence, the grandiose, and it is reflected in their robot design as well. You look at them and you see the expensive jewelry and the round bellies. The police station is a mix between a clean front area design and a dirty rundown back areas. Oh, and did I tell you that the cop robot ability is to ask for a bribe?
Stop! Stop! Give me money. Alright!
I think you catch the theme. As for their robot design, I mean, look at their faces. To quickly mention a few more, the bankers have a very grandiose area, but in a different way than the bishops. Their robot models look like power-hungry liches and their ability is to siphon money. The functionaries don't have their own area. Their design is very basic and they look like something you would expect replacing clerks and cashiers in the near future some 30 or 40 years ago. Then you have pixel lamps jumping around, little cop beholders always trying to bust you for something, and many more. Overall, the robot models and their little details are wonderful and the locations look great. As for ships, every major faction and most of the characters have their own design. You unlock those throughout the game and let me tell you, each one looks goddamn good. Mercenary ships look rough and fangy, Berto's ship fits him to a T, and the bishop ship is probably my favorite design out of any sci-fi ship I have seen. There is a total of 19 ships available and you will definitely like at least one or two. Overall, the game looks absolutely great, and even more so for its year of release. The only thing I would criticize are some problems with the lighting, but that has since been fixed in the Remaster edition. If I had to rate Scrapland's soundtrack by itself, I would say it's neither good nor bad, not really something I would put on in a car for sure, but when you place it in the context of the game, it creates a wonderful loop where the soundtrack elevates the game and vice versa. The music fits the game extremely well and the devs did a good job with syncing the tracks depending on how you interact with the world.
Criminal Drake, get him!
As for the voice acting, it's kind of a hit or miss for me, even if you take into consideration that the devs went hard on the overall goofy vibe of the game. Some hits for me are definitely the cops.
You wanna be my friend? That's easy! I've got a few jobs to do. Help me and we'll be friends.
And even the messengers. Though they might sound annoying, the voice acting fits their zoomy personality very well.
No, it's him, man. I'll settle with the mayor's new ship and its funky new weapon, the Devastator.
Why? Your messengers don't drive.
It's none of your business. I want to polish it and look at it.
The biggest miss for me would be Betty. Even if she is a professional newscaster, her voice just sounds so incredibly dull and dead.
We're short of equipment. There's only one camera left, the one that nobody's ever wanted. So you'll just have to manage with that one, okay?
It's a beautiful camera. I love it.
I'm happy you like it. Now I must leave. The boss will contact you right away and he'll tell you what to do.
Okay.
You will also notice some inconsistencies between voice acting and subtitles, and also some, well, overall nonsense.
Hey, buddy. I'm Ficus.
Hi, Ficus. We taught those functionary pigs a lesson, huh?
Oh, yes. The cop I found crushed. But the great database must have relieved him already.
Sound effect-wise, Scrapland has a very normal soundscape for a futuristic game, without anything bad sticking out. We will discuss weapons in a bit, and the only other thing worth mentioning would be how meaty and good the ship boost sounds. As for gameplay, you spend your time either running around inside, exploring and causing mayhem, or flying around in your ship, traveling, racing, and generally being even more of a menace. Both modes have a major feature that makes them interesting. Very early on in the story, you have to go get a camera to do your job as a reporter. But the only camera left is this old decrepit guy called Sebastian. You don't mind the guy, you call him some nice words, and he gives you the ability to take photos with your robotic eyeballs and to hack into the great database so you can turn into almost any robot you want. Being nice is that easy, I guess. Now every robot has a special ability, starting with D-Tritus being able to disintegrate anyone he charges to. Usefulness of abilities depends on the situation, so let me list a few. Bangers steal money. Functionaries slow down time. Berto is a blinding disco ball. Nurse is bong horny robots. The mayor puts others to sleep with political propaganda. And Betty? Betty is a bone. All puns intended. Overall, this is a very nice feature that lets you tackle problems creatively. This system is heavily used in Crazy Bets, where you fulfill various tasks for the crazy gambler, and in the main story you mostly sneak into places you shouldn't be, or act as other robots to get information you shouldn't have. As for vehicle gameplay, shipbuilding is the name of the game. You want to go racing? Give your ship all the motors it can handle and scrap the hull to minimum. You are now speed. Traffic pisses you off? Pick from your arsenal of quake-free weapons and commit carnage.
Criminal train, get him!
You catch my drift. Okay, but now for real. Putting a ship together feels good at first, but then you slowly realize that you always pick the latest ship design you unlock, always fill all the slots with latest engines, and then you pick your favorite weapons. As for hull, you put that to the maximum, since weight only affects engine boost cooldown, which is kind of negligible. You can have a dedicated race ship if you want, but your gunship can handle all the races in the game, and there are even some combat races where we are glad for the extra firepower and hull. By the way, when I mentioned quake-free weapons in this game, I meant it. There are two different flavors of machine gun. The first one tame and innocent. And then you unlock the Devastator and you never look back. This is still my favorite weapon in the game, and it plays well and sounds incredible. Next you get two flavors of rocket launchers. The swarm type that homes on targets, and the obliterate everything in the vicinity one, which, well, speaks for itself. A railgun can be missing, and again, it has a very satisfying sound. Lastly, a Tesla gun is at your disposal. Short-ranged, but very powerful. You can also pick one upgrade for each weapon when you design your ship. These can range from affecting the spread of a weapon to rate of fire and more. Lastly, before we get into the story, Scrapland actually got a remaster. It appeared very suddenly in December of 2021, with absolutely no one knowing that it was coming. There was no marketing, no announcement, nothing. It just appeared on Steam and GOG. You can check the game reviews on Steam, and almost each and every one of them states that they didn't know the remaster even existed. They were just googling the game for nostalgia and stumbled upon it randomly. Anyway, what has changed? The devs took the original artist files, upscaled them with AI, and then did some touch-ups. Until now, you've been seeing the original graphics. For the rest of the video, you can enjoy what a good job the developers have done. I'm more used to seeing the old visuals, so I'm slightly biased, but I can't say anything bad about the remastered ones. Especially the lighting is great. The remaster also made the game available legally online, so you don't have to own a physical copy from way back when or sail the high seas. It runs from the get-go on modern systems without having to divine which of these compatibility settings will make the game run, which is very much welcome. Now if you don't want story spoilers, skip ahead to here. Oh boy, you are in for a messy ride. Since interviewing the Archbishop is definitely not happening, you are tasked to sneak into the murder scene and take some photos. So you turn into the cop, take the photos, and get out. But right after, a mysterious robot calls you.
Don't go by appearances. I've hidden a message for you. Use your radar and you'll find it.
What's your name?
You can call me Deep Throat.
Let's call him DT for short, yeah? I wouldn't want YouTube to take out pitchforks for a Watergate incident reference. DT acts as your informant throughout the game, and he thinks something shady is happening in the city. You are told that a cop called Ficus was the first to arrive at the crime scene, and he might know more. So you offer to interview him, stroke his ego, and get some information this way. This is unfortunately the beginning of robotic brown-nosing that follows you throughout the game. D-Tritus is willing to do absolutely anything to advance the investigation, and this happens in the form of doing several favors for someone to obtain information or an item. Unfortunately, halfway throughout the game, it starts to feel pretty tedious. But let's get on with it.
Well, you see, this is more of an in-depth interview. Public opinion deserves an insight of Ficus, the great cop, you know. I need to get to know you better, to become your friend.
You wanna be my friend? That's easy. I've got a few jobs to do. Help me, and we'll be friends.
You erase Ficus's debt by beating up Scrappers, raise a rival cop Multiplus, and finally beat a functionary called Stupidus because he owes Ficus some money. Also, what the hell is up with this Greco-Romanesque naming sense? All this only for Ficus to get absolutely created and his matrix to get erased before he gets to tell you anything. With no other choice, you turn into a cop and impersonate Ficus. You bond with your cop buddies over murdering some functionaries and find out that the chief of police has snatched some clues from the Archbishop's murder. One of the cops also told you that the chief always cheats at poker, so of course you try to blackmail him for information.
You aren't exactly honest. I've just caught you cheating.
I can't make ends meet on my salary. Get to the point. How much do you want for that picture?
I want the clues of the Archbishop's murder.
How odd. Everybody seems to be interested in those clues today. The crazy gamblers offer me a fortune for them. I'll sell them to you for...
Let me remind you that I've just taken a picture of you cheating.
Oh, that's true. What a bad memory. Let's make a deal. I smash your face, take the picture away, and pay you nothing. What do you say?
Well, I don't think I'm really interested.
Too late for that, sweetheart.
Turned out great, didn't it? But now we know that the crazy gambler also wants the clues. He plays the innocent curiosity card and lets you know that the chief of police is secretly auctioning the clues.
Money for them. And, of course, the chief of police will sell them to the highest bidder.
You can pay 50 grand, or just turn into his best friend, the mayor.
Oh, come on. Be a good boy and tell me where you hid the clues. I'm your good friend, the mayor. You can trust me.
And so begins the clue hunt hour. There are 4 clues total, and the chief guides you through finding each one of them, since I guess the prize was only for the location of the clues. The first clue is easy. It's in one of the robotic mosquito nests in the scrapyard, so you just have to eradicate a bunch of them.
Very good!
The second clue gets a little tricky. The chief hid it on a ship of functionary Rudolph without him knowing, and you definitely don't have the money to buy it from him. Since Rudolph is extremely introverted, you slowly put him to sleep and wait for a nurse to wake him up while smashing the dialogue button.
Gotcha! Can I help you, noble citizen?
Once awake, you challenge him to a race to lure him outside and then destroy his ship to get the clue. The third clue is a mess. The chief doesn't remember where he hid it because he was drunk on Mercury, but thankfully he told his drinking buddy Trurl, so now you have to deal with him. Of course, he's an absolute nutjob.
No, I can't, man. I'll settle with the mayor's new ship and its funky new weapon, the Devastator.
Why? Your messengers don't drive.
It's none of your business. I want to polish it and look at it. First, get the plans out of its chassis, engines, and the Devastator.
You are to steal the mayor's ship and test it in combat against some cops. Your reward is a clue hidden on an indestructible transport ship. Great. DT lets you know that mercenaries have developed a railgun weapon that could possibly do the job. So you go and do what you do best, bullshit the stupidest mercenary you can find to submit the weapon into your totally real best weapon on Scrapland contest. You embark on an escort quest that rivals World of Warcraft once in painfulness.
I can't see you. I'll stop until you find me.
And get the plans. The railgun is very effective and the transport ship doesn't stand a chance.
Well done!
The last clue was left with Bishop Igor, a combat fanatic who you have to prove yourself to and then beat in a duel. First, you have to steal mercenary ship plans in a 1-to-1 copy of the escort mission you have just finished.
I can't see you. I'll stop until you find me. I think I'm lost. I think I'm lost. I'll soon find a way. Don't worry.
Just end me, please. Igor is very satisfied, you beat him in a duel, and the last clue is yours. DT then analyzes the clues and finds that the organic material found on the murder scene was fake. Meanwhile, I mean, props to him for owning a bench-only gym, but we should revisit the term chicken legs, cause this ain't it, chief. Anyway, same as with the Archbishop, the chief of police is dead, and accordingly you can't turn into him anymore. Now it's time to once more do your job for a bit. Your boss tasks you with interviewing Chief's best friend, the mayor. You remember how you stole his ship? Yeah, he is grandly pissed at you for that, and he paid off some cops to go after you. So you do some totally legal favors as a way of apology and completely disregard the interview you were supposed to do. Meanwhile, a functionary called Traitorous calls you for a meeting, which very obviously goes wrong as you get violently threatened to drop the investigation. Turns out Traitorous got paid to do this and claims he doesn't know by whom, so you infiltrate his clan, called Flower Power. Huh. And how do you join the clan? By doing their dirty work, of course.
Now you'll get the chance to see how we work. First, we surround the victim so he cannot escape. And then we beat his ass till we get tired of it. It seems easy, but you need practice.
Amazing. I'm impressed.
Very well, the job is done. Look for us the next time you need to beat someone up.
Of course. It's been a pleasure.
Let's go, boys.
Traitorous repays the favor for helping his clan by letting you take over his next job for the mysterious employer. And right as you are to meet the guy...
Come on, follow me closely.
Right, guess that ain't happening. A vicious guy called Lone Mercenary is back in town, and from the looks of it, he is employed. Before Traitorous got wrecked, he let you know that his next job involved Bishop Gus, a guy with a patented method to create artificial organic slime. You follow this lead only to find the Lone Mercenary cutting another loose end. You manage to protect Bishop Gus and find his stolen matrix in the pocket of one of the bishops guarding the Grey database. After returning his matrix into the Grey database, you get talking with him. Someone indeed bought the same slime that was found on the murder scene, but he didn't see the buyer's face. The only weird thing was the buyer dropping one of the mayor's electoral badges. Meanwhile, the lonely mercenary steals your matrix for a change. So you finally deal with him for good and return your data back to the Grey database. At this moment, our prime suspect is the mayor, so you help him out a bit, and it turns out that he is too preoccupied with himself and his election campaign to perpetrate the murders. According to DT, that leaves us with two robots powerful enough to orchestrate the murders: the chief of bankers and apparently your boss. Meanwhile, two events unfold.
Only useless yokels and lazybones surround me. How sad. I've just received this anonymous report. They demand 1,000 quintillion scraps in return for keeping quiet about it. It's a list of all the shady deals, embezzlements, thefts, swindles, and tricks we've committed over the last few years, and they accuse me of it all. How the hell did this get out of here? I should clear my shredder of compromising documents one of these days. Must be overloaded. I'm the mayor because I lie more than I talk. Because I promise everything and sign nothing. And in short, because someone has to carry this heavy load. For the most holy electricity's sake, I beg worthy viscosity to spare my life. I'll give you all you want. I'll turn you into the richest viscous in Chimera. I've pulled off a real bargain. We can share. No, don't do that! No! No, please!
Hello? Is there anybody home? What is this? What's happening? Did I do something wrong?
Testing for viscosity. Alarm human detected.
The murderers get pinned on the human, even though he just arrived on the planet, so something definitely smells. Now is also where the story starts to fall apart even more. You get sent to interview the human, so you forge police credentials with some help from DT and get to the holding cell. Turns out the human is called Bill and he owns a very well-known software company. No association, of course. Also, he is very much innocent, so you break Bill out and take him to the press building where you hide him in a locker in an office you share with 3 others. Also, the cops and other 100 robots you passed during the breakout? They no longer care since you've hidden Bill and totally didn't commit any crime. Once the human is as safe as he can be, your boss calls you up. He is building a huge library of all information of the inhabitants of Scrapland, which is totally not ominous at all, and he needs help getting some data from the functionaries. Of course, you are a yes man, and after the fact you sneak into the database and get some information on the crazy gambler who you still suspect. Meanwhile, things derail even more. Remember the locker with the human inside it? Somehow a messenger bought the locker and you go on a race tournament arc so you can get it back from him. Now we finally get back to the data we stole from Boss's database. DT finds a connection between the chief of bankers and the crazy gambler, so you go and sneak into the chief's room.
Gambler, what are you doing here? Did you hear me, Gambler? But what's going on?
Hello, D-Tritus. If someone had to discover my secret, that would be you.
Turns out, the crazy gambler is a for-fun persona of the chief of bankers and he wants to spend his fortune on gambling. I guess sure. Anyway.
D-Tritus, I have something important to tell you. Come to the ship cemetery and we'll talk.
It turns out that Berto is mind-controlled and he stole your matrix. Also now, there are hundreds of Bertos trying to kill you. Oh god. So you go and destroy all the transmitter buoys that control Bertos and acquire your Matrix back. The now OK Berto tells you that he was mind-controlled by the crazy gambler, who is in turn also mind-controlled and has the boss's Matrix.
It's time for you to die!
You lock up the gambler, take boss's Matrix, and DT is now ready for his grand reveal. Turns out, he's Betty, which was pretty obvious since she hinted at it in some dialogues outside the main storyline.
I'm not sure whether I should trust my mysterious informer.
Give him a chance. He seems to be well informed.
Now the boss and Humphrey mention having some unfinished business with the gambler, so you stake out the prison. Turns out the viscous creature was mind-controlled Humphrey in a suit, so you go after him until he has no more lives.
Perfect, D-Tritus. Humphrey will now go to jail. Wait, I'm losing the connection.
D-Tritus, if you want to see Betty again, come to my office immediately.
Hello, D-Tritus. Seems like you finally uncovered my plan. It doesn't matter because you can't do anything about it.
We'll see about that. Humphrey's in jail waiting for you.
I don't give a shit about that idiot. I used him. That's exactly what I'll do with the rest. My machine's already working.
What machine?
Remember I asked you to get data for my new library? Well, it's not a library, but a replica of the great database. But this one also allows me to control the minds of all the robots that are registered and make as many copies as I want.
So that's how you controlled Humphrey and the others. But you can't control me. I'm not registered in your machine, and I've got your Matrix, remember?
Of course! That's why now the machine is working at maximum capacity. I've ordered all the robots in Scrapland to destroy you and retrieve my Matrix.
The human is the key to all this. D-Tritus, look for the human. He's the only one that...
Oh, what a woman. Right. It's a shame you're never going to see her again. And now I'll take a seat and have a cocktail while I watch you be destroyed. Adieu, D-Tritus.
And our software guy is indeed the key. You escort Bill to the boss's library, and together you install some Windows Vistas to brick the database. Are DVDs really making a comeback in the future? His plans to take over Scrapland ruined, the boss tries to leave the planet with Betty and nuke the hell out of it. And how does he have nukes? Well, another grand reveal. Scrapland is former planet Earth, and after the humans ruined it, they pieced out and left all the nukes behind for whatever reason. I guess I'm not surprised anymore. You defeat the boss in a last desperate fight, and Scrapland is saved.
What do I need to get rid of you? I'm going to teach you a lesson.
Groovy. He's got no shield now. Do away with him.
Very good boy. You're the best.
I'm impressed, D-Tritus.
Go get her, man.
I want to thank you for everything you've done for me.
It's been a real pleasure.
Would you like to take a stroll on my space bike?
Sure, come pick me up before you go.
See ya, guys!
And that was truly the end, as the studio went on to bigger and mostly better things. Now my nostalgic self would tell you to stop what you are doing right now and go play this game, but let's keep it down to earth. The game is visually stunning for its age and looks even better now with the remaster. The ships and dogfights are great, but the game is also not without some issues. The goofy dialogues are not for everyone, and the story is ridden through with holes, roundabouts and sudden divine interventions just to keep it somehow on track. If you are in for a few hours of lighthearted fun, causing chaos and zooming around, have a look at GOG first. The game at least goes on sale sometimes as opposed to Steam. Thank you so much for making it this far. If you want to, please subscribe and like this video. I will see you in the next one.